Romero and Teofimo Lopez grew up close. They know each other's families. They've sparred together for years. But on August 22nd in Las Vegas, they step into the ring to fight for real.
Yeah, this is my favorite type of workout. Part of training.
Why is that?
Fundamentals. Bring back the basics. Basics are everything. Alignment with the feet and the hands. Position.
You can see, man, we're doing great. Getting ready for this fight on May 2nd, and I can't wait, man. It's been a long time due, and we're gonna show up and show the world what we made of. Every time you throw a right hand, you gotta pull back, go under. It's about motion, right? If you catch it with something, even if you miss, that left hook is coming. Careful.
Let's start with Teofimo. Right now, he's a dad, and that changes a man. He said,
Who am I? Who am I to the people? I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm gonna do that.
That's not the loud, cocky Teofimo we're used to seeing. That's a man thinking about his family first. But make no mistake, the fighter in him is still hungry. He calls this next chapter the take-back. He said, becoming a two-time undisputed world champion, breaking records and doing things people haven't seen yet is what drives him. In his words,
and the take-back is really just about inspiring others like we always do, and grabbing everything, becoming a two-time undisputed world champion, breaking history, making more records, doing things that people have yet to see. And I'm just grateful to even be here, honestly.
This guy is a pure competitor. He wants to win, and he's got a message for anyone who doubts him. He said,
Family.
That a lot of people don't kind of quite, want to really take into consideration or take into themselves because so much ego that gets involved. Is this. You guys all talk a lot, but where is your work ethic? Where is your stuff at? Shit, that's why we are separate. There is a yin and there is a yang. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was blessed enough, and not even that, I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at today,
He splits people into two groups, negative people who go nowhere and positive people who know exactly where they're heading. He wants to be in that second group, and he wants to prove it in the ring. Now here's where the story gets heavy. Back in January, Teofimo lost to Shakur Stevenson. He got outboxed. It was the toughest night of his career. So the question became, can he come back from that? His father, Teofimo Lopez Sr., believes in him completely. He said,
This kid dances in there. This kid does things that that I have ever seen. And it's not because he's my son. Maybe people were like, oh yeah, he has to say those things. That's his son. But, come Saturday night, he's going to bring excitement. That was the worst fight that he's ever done. And it was nominated for Fight of the Year on his worst day, because he comes to give it all, to the world, to the people. He's willing to give up his life.
Camp for this fight has been all about fixing what went wrong, sharpening the jab, better head movement, getting ready for a brand new weight class at 147 pounds. And here's something interesting. Teofimo didn't pick an easy comeback fight. He went straight for one of the toughest guys out there. That tells you a lot about his mindset. On the other side, Rolly isn't trying to rebuild anything. He already proved himself. 15 months ago in Times Square, he shocked the world and beat Ryan Garcia. That win made him a champion. For Rolly, this fight against Teofimo isn't about coming back. It's about showing that the Ryan Garcia win wasn't luck. It was just the beginning. And here's the wild part. These two aren't strangers. They've known each other for years. Their families are close. But once that bell rings, none of that matters. Rolly said it clearly. We're friends and we know each other's families, but none of that matters on August 22nd. Both men see the same goal ahead of them, a place in boxing history, and they both believe the only way to get there is to go through each other. Now let's hear from the experts, because the boxing world is split on this one. First, Ismail Salas, Rolly's trainer. He described his job like organizing a messy office. He said he takes all these scattered skills and brings them together as one team. When asked what makes Rolly dangerous, he kept it simple. He said,
Do we see Rolly do some of the things Shakur did to beat Teofimo with the jab?
Right. You know, if you see, every trainer have their own working style. One of my signature as a trainer is to lead him. You know, the jab doesn't matter left or right, southpaw or orthodox, but the front hand and the lead hand is, to me, is very important. You know, can mark everything.
So ultimately, I know you can't give too much of what the plan is, but what's going to make Rolly win this fight? What's going to make him the better fighter on August 22nd?
Explosive.
The power and the explosive.
Explosive.
that's it. No fancy talk, just power. Salas also pointed something out that should worry Team Lopez. He said Teofimo's speed and movement haven't looked the same since moving up in weight, while Rolly is already a natural welterweight who doesn't have to adjust his body at all. Now here comes Antonio Tarver, and he had a lot to say. Tarver gives Teofimo the edge in pure skill, but he warns everyone not to sleep on Rolly's power. He brought up the Ryan Garcia fight and said something that stuck with people. He said,
that win over Ryan was real big. I was there, and just to see him work and see him really go at it for 12 rounds, and where, you know, it seemed like, you know, Ryan Garcia kind of froze and just took his foot off the gas. Rolly didn't do that. So his strength, I think, is underestimated. I think that power, it really bothers these guys when he's in there. His unorthodox style, he don't have a real rhythm, you can't really get in his timing, and that works for him.
Tarver also broke down exactly why Rolly hits so hard. He said Rolly has a strong base, strong legs, and he's always planted when he throws a punch, which most fighters aren't. He even brought up Rolly's judo background as a possible reason for that raw power. So how does Tarver think this fight goes? He said if Teofimo stays on his jab, stays light on his feet, and throws combinations, that's his cleanest path to victory. But he gave a warning too. He said if Teofimo starts admiring his work or waits too long for the perfect counter, Rolly doesn't need 20 punches to make a statement. He needs one opening. In the end, Tarver called it a 60-40 fight in Teofimo's favor, but he wasn't ready to count Rolly out at all. Then we got another panel, Ade Oladipo and Spencer Oliver, and they went back and forth hard. Ade pointed out how inconsistent Teofimo has looked. Spencer pushed back and reminded everyone that when Teofimo's mind is fully locked in, he beat Josh Taylor and delivered one of the best performances of his career against Vasily Lomachenko.
Beat Josh Taylor.
Vasily Lomachenko was even more impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that is incredible.
It's a massive win.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So, you know, if that guy turns up, he beats Rolly Romero. But Rolly Romero is a guy, you know, he beat Ryan Garcia and beat him quite comfortably.
And you forget that, don't you?
You forget it.
Yeah.
In Times Square, he beat him and beat him comfortably, had him on the seat of his pants. You know, it's a tough one to call, but I go with Teofimo Lopez. I just think that he may just be a little too much, but
The real question both men kept coming back to was this: which version of Teofimo shows up on fight night, the focused champion or the one who gets in his own head? Now let's talk about inside the ring with Max Kellerman, Gabe Rosado, Mike Coppinger, and Shady McCoy. Kellerman made an interesting point about power. He said some fighters generate power with speed, like Manny Pacquiao, but Rolly is different. He just naturally hits hard without needing perfect technique. Gabe Rosado admitted he was originally leaning toward Rolly, but said he's now switching towards Teofimo. Shady McCoy had the most surprising take on the whole panel. He straight up predicted an easy night for Teofimo. He compared Rolly to a fighter named Ricardo Mayorga, who once shocked the world with a big win, only to get beaten badly by other elite fighters afterward. Shady basically asked, is that going to be Rolly's story too? Get one big signature win, then struggle against the truly elite level? But the panel also defended Teofimo's resume hard. They pointed out he has never ducked anyone. He went after Lomachenko when other fighters were avoiding him. He stepped up to fight Shakur Stevenson when nobody else wanted that smoke either. Even in his one loss, he was in there with elite-level competition. Now here's something personal that came up. Teofimo's relationship with his father became a big talking point. After the Shakur Stevenson loss, people criticized his dad for not giving him proper instructions in the corner, and instead of hiding from it, Teofimo addressed it head-on in a public conversation with his father. In that clip, his father tried to say it was a shared mistake. Teofimo pushed back hard. He told his dad straight up that he needs to be accountable. Max Kellerman gave his father credit for building Teofimo's career from nothing into a two-division world champion, but he also said his father hasn't been meeting the basic standard of accountability lately. Shady McCoy went even further. He said he personally told Teofimo, "This is your career. We gotta stop talking so much about your dad, because if this thing doesn't go the right way, you and your dad are gonna be home trying to figure it out. We ain't gonna be trying to see you on TV." Teofimo actually addressed this directly in another interview. He explained that he's not removing his father from the corner. Instead, he's adding another trainer, someone named Milton LaCroix, who taught him fundamentals as a kid. Teofimo said, "I think my father just needs more voices in that corner right there to speak for him, and also to see different and get on that same road." He also said something powerful about treating this like a business. He said, "I had to remove myself as his son and tell him as it is." Training camp footage backs this focus up. Teofimo has been cooking his own meals every single day during camp, breakfast, lunch, and snacks, keeping full control over his nutrition. He's been training alongside his brother, pushing each other daily, and on day one back at camp, he ripped the heavy bag apart, showing everyone he means business. He explained his mindset simply. He said, "The difference between me and a lot of these fighters, they don't get better. We've only gotten better because I was born for this." Meanwhile, Rolly has his own story to tell. Away from boxing, he opened up about a very dark period in his life. He said, "I was in such a dark place. I literally had everything in the world. I became champion again. Wealth, fame, literally everything, and I just was more miserable than ever before." He credits his faith for turning things around, saying it took the thorn out of his flesh and brought him back better than before. Back at the press conference where this fight was officially announced, things got tense fast. Teofimo's father accused Rolly of clout chasing, saying he only got close to the family for attention. Rolly and Teofimo both laughed it off and tried to keep things light, even pulling out joke gifts to break the tension. Rolly summed up the relationship simply. He said, "Me and Teo friends, he's my little brother. At the end of it, if I'm to lose this belt or to defend my belt, whatever, I'd rather it be with him than anyone else." If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for more boxing updates and drop your prediction in the comments. Who wins this one, Teofimo or Rolly?